Agenda. Base, you've seen the report. Betty.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. So we took the comments that we had heard when we had brought back and were seeking direction, and from what I understood from committee members, you wanted us to review that and bring back some potential meeting room space rentals. We looked at other spaces that were available, similar, and then recognizing that we have after-hours requirements. So these are the recommendation. If you choose to support it, I think that was still a decision to be made as well. It was specifically to lower-tier municipalities. It wasn't to other outside organizations. As what I had originally heard, so that's how we presented it. And then we have a recommendation for, depending on how many rooms that they would need, the renter, the open hours, because we wouldn't have to have staff on site. There would already be staff here. But if it was an after hours, what the recommendation that for a day or an evening rental rate.
You've seen the staff recommendations. Is there a mover and seconder for that? Moved by Ann, seconded by David. Any further discussions? Sorry,
I guess the recommendation is sort of twofold. It's number one, if you support it. So I'm assuming that that would be the wording that to support it and with those rental rates.
All those in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried. B, 2017 tax ratios, landfills.
So there have been some fun things happening at the ministry level, and of course we did our review early on and proceeded, and without having all of the information in the framework, I didn't want to hold up certainly some of the decisions that you at the lower tier, that at least we had the information out in front. As of yesterday, there was a letter released by the Ministry of Finance, just received it, and it speaks to the transition ratios for the landfill. They're going to be provided. Also the education property taxes, and those regulations are going to be in place coming up, and just received an email this morning. The tool that we use, Opta, the online property tax analysis, they have updated it now to include the new methodology. So we would be bringing forward under this recommendation, bringing forward a new bylaw to accommodate for that tax ratio framework. I'm not anticipating, I haven't been able to get, obviously we just got this news yesterday and then today from Opta, but given the really the insignificant amount, the impact that it would have on our entire assessment of 13 billion, and this is 2 million. I'm not expecting to see much of a shift in the tax rates.
You've seen the report. Do we have a mover and seconder for staff recommendation? Moved by Mike, second by Robert. Discussions. Ann?
So, Betty Ann, I was just wondering, it says here, prescribes the exclusion of environmental protection features from the assessed value of landfills. What difference does that make? Like, I was just reading it. That was under Mr. Wilkinson's recommendations.
My understanding is that the regulation itself is going to outline the exclusion of any of those features, but until I haven't reviewed the regulations that's indicating, so we'll bring that forward to you.
Okay, thanks. I was just wondering. Ours is right by a river.
Any other discussions? All those in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried. Electric charging vehicle.
Again, seeking committee's direction as to whether or not you wish to take advantage of this opportunity. It was brought forward to us through a Brockton resident, and that specifically for in the Brockton area, but that request, Bruce Powell offering it to the county of potentially we could have it at the county of Bruce, and it could be at any location that we would choose, but that was how we were originally made aware of it, and certainly that individual that made us aware of it would like to see it in Brockton, but there is a cost involved and we have no budget for that. We first wanted to see if there was any appetite for it. We do have the one that is going to be located here through our energy program, and then Brockton has one in their downtown area. So this is a different one, what they call non-smart. So just as it that an individual, they wouldn't be able to identify it on their app. They'd have to know where it was, and then they wouldn't be able to find it to know whether the service was in use or that it was available. It would just be more word of mouth to know where it was. So.
Okay, so the staff recommendation is they're looking for direction. Yes, we want it. And secondly, I guess we'd have to make a decision where it will go. Mover and seconder, and I'll open it up for discussions. Ann? Paul? Thank you. Discussions? Mike?
I know it's a great gift, but it's like almost asking for a grant too. Could we turn around and just give it to the person that got it and he can put it up where he wants? I mean, I don't think, in my mind, as these things go forward, it really should be the private sector that's going to start to develop these things and make them available to everybody. And I think it's a bad step that we take taxpayers' dollars. We wouldn't do that for a gas station. Why would we do it for an electrical vehicle?
David?
Plus the fact we already have one, as you say, in Brockton, and I'm not sure why the Brockton resident would.
I think it's just they have an affiliation with Bruce Power, and they were aware that Bruce Power were giving these complimentary ones, so they brought it forward to our attention that it could be introduced another one into the area, and that was our concern as well, and particularly this one is a stand. It's a pedestal, so it's going to cost greater to install it. So.
Ann?
Would it be less cost if you put the non-smart one beside the smart one? I can have two together. We have two together down, but ours, I think they're both, I don't know whether ours are non-smart or smart, but sometimes they're better together and might be cheaper. I don't know, like the installation, if it's right there, it's not as much.
Any further discussions? Janice?
So if it's offered to the county, would it be worthwhile to see if any of the municipalities are willing to pay $6,000 for it? And then if there's two, you can have an arm wrestle. If nobody wants it, we turn it down.
Very good idea. Paul, do you have a better idea than that?
Even though I think we should just give it to someone who's financially.
I'm not certain of the program with Bruce Power, if they've already made them available to your lower tier municipalities. I'm not, we can find that out, but.
So why don't we say we're interested, and Betty Ann, you will make a phone call to the municipality, see if there's any interest in having this. David?
Just to add to what Betty Ann is saying, ours was a Bruce Power donation. Yeah.
So was ours, Betty Ann.
But the installation cost is fairly significant.
Yes.
I mean, we don't have one in here in Kinloss, so maybe council might be interested, your council might be, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ann?
Ours was kind of convenient because we were redoing the municipal parking lot in downtown, and we were putting electrical in and redoing it, so it was easier to go in at the time, less cost for us. But I can see where it'd be more cost if you're adding it afterwards.
Paul?
That's why we encourage horse and buggy, then you don't have to deal with this nonsense.
That's exactly right.
Could I recommend that we reach out to Bruce Power? We do have a contact there, and give them the contact for the lower tier municipalities, and then they can offer it to the lower tiers, and maybe they have more than one if there's other requests.
Okay, so is that okay with the mover and seconder to make that friendly amendment? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried. Good news.
So So we've provided you with the information item on the financial statements. So these are the unaudited results. I can tell you that the external auditors have been here and been on site, and we're not anticipating any changes to that. We will be meeting with them later in April to receive the final statements, and then we will be bringing them back to the committee on May 4th with the representative from BDO here to provide that to you. Have provided some explanation on the reasons behind the year-end results, and certainly if there was any questions or if there's anything specific that you would require further detail, be happy to include that in a further report in May.
Notice the CAO went over budget?
The only one?
For very good reasons. She didn't have much to begin with. We don't give her much to spend.
Pretty mean. Anyways, is that okay with everybody that Betty Ann brings back a report? Good.
Well, if there's further details,
sorry.
If there's something specific that you would like to learn, otherwise in May we will bring the audited results, which I don't anticipate are going to change significantly. I think, Madam CAO.
Through you, Mr. Warden, I would like to recognize the senior management team in a lot of the work that they have done. It's great news. I'm a little bit concerned about the value of the surplus on the salary side, only from the perspective of have we achieved all the projects that we wanted to achieve, and certainly within long-term care, we really have worked really hard to address the staffing issues that were occurring, so that's all really good news. The balance of the functions, I am a little bit concerned about making sure that we're actually getting our projects done, and if we're not, why not? Where are our gaps?
Okay. So next one is the annual repayment limit. We're in good shape. You ready to go out and borrow a bunch of money, folks?
Yeah, it's
That's there for information. I believe all the municipalities receive these
yes.
as well, but we're in good shape. It's good to know. Next meeting, May 4th. Adjourn. Janice? Robert? All those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. Thank you.